with longitudinal increases in IQ, even in older people in nursing homes. So it's an educational technology of the foremost magnitude. Now, if you're standing in front of a PTA, which I have many times, and trying to sell the concept of introducing a little quiet time in the classroom for the experience of unbounded awareness, I talk in terms of increased IQ and academic performance. David likes to talk, and so do I really, more in terms of enlightenment. And I want to just spend the last few minutes before I introduce Dr. Fred Travis in discussing what that term means. Well, I think we're in a position to understand very easily now what it means. Enlightenment is also called self-realization. Realization of the true nature of consciousness, which is unbounded, beyond change, universal, eternal, bliss. Now, in the beginning days and weeks and months of meditation, that's a momentary experience of expansion and exhilaration, of universal being. But it's a sticky experience. It's so profoundly attractive that it starts to stick, in the sense that you forget less and less of your true unbounded nature, even while the awareness is sharply focused on specific boundaries. So even though this process of transcending and experiencing being really develops over a period of days, and you're completely proficient by a matter of weeks or months, what grows over time is this permanency of the experience of the true nature of the self. And that permanency is called enlightenment. Now, what's so great about why it's called liberation, freedom from bondage, etc., is because until the self is known, then whatever we're experiencing, cold water, maybe mashed potatoes for dinner, that can be okay if you like potatoes, but it's really at the expense of something so much bigger. Because while you're eating those potatoes, that's it in your life. Waking consciousness, that's what it gives you at that point. What do you lose? Unbounded bliss. And if you're eating okra, marinated eggplant, life is a disaster at that point, because that's all there is. And it's not very nice, if you ask me. So, freedom from the binding influence of perception, so that you're never lost. This is what happens over regular meditation, and then it doesn't matter if you're sound asleep, or dreaming, or dynamically engaged in a tennis match or an exam, even under the depths of anesthesia. You are never lost to the experience of your unbounded inner blissful reality. That's self-realization. That's enlightenment. It's invincibility. It's inner strength. Because no matter what's happening on the outside, whether it's okra or mashed potatoes, life is always bliss. You can enjoy the parts more fully than ever before, but inner stability of bliss and contentment becomes permanent. So I would like to introduce for a few minutes Dr. Fred Travis, who is really one of the foremost brain researchers in the US, and maybe the expert in the area of meditation and brain development, who will introduce Shane Zispin, again a very brave student, who will show just in a few minutes real time the complete transformation of brain functioning associated with the meditative state, and why this is so fundamental to life and to education. When you appreciate Shane Zispin, who's going to meditate in front of about 700 people right now, when my girlfriend first saw my brain waves, I was mortified. There was little coherence and very little amplitude. So what Shane is going to share is very unusual. So please welcome Dr. Fred Travis and Shane Zispin. We open the curtains, please.
Thank you, Dr. Hagelin. We'll take a moment just to set everything up here. So we need the curtain down, please. Very good. If I only had a brain, what we'll be doing is we're going to anchor these abstract concepts which John and David had discussed in the concrete functioning of your brain. The reason this is possible is brain functioning shapes the content of daily experience. When you have a good night's rest, you wake up and there's no problem too big for you. But remember those nights that you didn't sleep so well and you wake up tired in the morning? It's a chore just to remember what day it is. And this process of brain underlying experience also goes the other way. Every experience we have, in turn, shapes the brain. Right now, what's happening in your brain is the light from my body is coming, it's going through your eye, it's going into the back of your brain, it's creating these waves of electrical activity, the sounds coming through your ear, just back and forth over the brain. What's happening is hundreds of thousands of brain cells are as if shaking hands and creating a delicate network. And it's this network that lets you see me and lets you understand what I'm saying. What happens is with regular experience, these networks get stronger. What you're actively doing is you're constantly creating networks that then help you understand your reality. This is the nature of your brain. Your brain is a river and not a rock. It's constantly changing. There's been some research with monkeys, in this case, where they just brushed the fingertips of the monkey. That was the additional experience the monkey had. And what they did is they looked at the part of the brain, the center brain, which actually responds when the fingertips are touched. And this is the amount of the brain that was responding every time the monkey's fingertips were touched. After 3 months of this research, this is the amount of the brain that was responding. Do you see it's much bigger? This is what happens with every experience. Have ever, any of you gone into the elevator where they have the braille and trying to read it? This is one of the things I like to do. And I keep on trying, I really can't detect all those bumps. A blind person can read it very quickly. What the blind person is doing is devoting more of their brain to the information coming through their fingertips. This is what's happening with every single experience we have. We're constantly recreating brain networks, which then recreates our reality. Now, the important point that I want you to understand is all experiences change the brain. When you're in class, you learn some concept, you learn some new skill, you're actually creating a local network in your brain. But when you stay up 1 or 2 nights, when you take an extra load in the quarter and you're just under stress, under the gun for 12 weeks at a time, that's also creating specific brain circuits. And these brain circuits result in something called downshifting, high stress and fatigue. What happens is you use the back part of your brain. This is the screen of your mind. Right now, what's coming through your eyes, what's coming through your ears is creating a picture back here. It's almost like the screen up here, and all of the slides come and replace what's there. That's what's happening in the back part of the brain, is what's happening right now. And under high stress, under fatigue, this sensory concrete area can talk to the motor system, but it just responds with what's happening right now. It's very much of a stimulus response mode. There's not a lot of thoughtful thinking. This is the way you respond when you wake up in the morning, you overslept, you're late for your class, you jump up, get your clothes on, run to class, sit down, and you forgot your homework. It's what happens when you stay up all night studying for an exam, and then you go into the exam and you fall asleep.